I can sing it if I train for it, right? And so I see the value in stretching my voice in those ways in those songs. They're great songs.
Hey, welcome to the Monique on the Mic podcast. This is episode 16, and I am Monique B. Thomas, your host. Today's special guest is a vocal coach to the stars, and she's going to tell us about her upbringing and how she became the star-studded vocal coach she is today. We're going to talk about a few of the stars and some very interesting things. Now, she is a real one, and by that I mean she doesn't hold anything back. She says what she thinks, and she means what she says. But this PG episode turned into an explicit one, so if you have little kids around, you might want to put your headphones on. Let's get into it. Hey, everybody, please welcome to the show, Katie Riggs. Hi, Katie.
Good morning, Monique. Thanks for having me.
How you doing today?
I feel good.
All right, y'all. We are laughing because we had some sound issues, and this is our third time trying to get this right. But we're going to get this right today. So, are you more of a morning person or a night owl?
I would say morning person. My brain shuts off about 8 p.m. in the evening.
Okay. You go that long. Mine at like 5 p.m. My brain's like, you know what? We're done.
I cannot receive any more information.
We're done. No, like I don't even think my brain will say that. It'll just shut down and you'll be looking at me and it's like the light's on, but nobody's home type thing. I can't process anything more, but I'm just finding that out about myself. I'm just realizing like I have 2 kids and every other week I have them and my one daughter has to get up at 6. So I get up with her. And the other weeks I've been like not getting up at 6, I'll get up at 7 or whatever. And I decide, you know what? On the weeks that she's not here, I'm going to get up at 6 because when I do get up at 6, I get a lot of stuff done between 6 and 9. Now 9 o'clock feels like 12 noon to me and I can get a lot more done. But we're not here to talk about me. We are here to talk about you. I was just curious because I know singers have different schedules and I was just wondering about your, how you manage your time.
1,000,000%. When you share about your experience, then I'm like, it makes me think about my experience. So I would like to know about you because, we see each other on social media, but other than that,
I know. It's like, I know you, but I don't. But I've been wanting to know you. So this is a long overdue conversation.
I didn't even know that you had 2 kids.
Yeah, 2 whole kids, like 2 whole
kids.
Well, like they've got the parents they got, so I don't know how whole they are, but they're wholesome. My oldest is 15 and she's as tall as me. She's actually, she's taller than me, which is that's not hard to do. And then my youngest is 13 and she's almost as tall as me. So, and I have them every other week and they're really a joy. Yeah. And I have a cat who's rather old. Yeah, that's all there is. But like I said, people don't want to know about me because this is my show. I can talk about me every week.
Okay.
So, all right, let's talk about why I wanted you here.
Okay.
You're so fascinating. I mean, from what I see and from what I've heard, I mean, obviously, because we have a lot of people that we know in common, obviously, I've heard lots of great things about you.
Oh, I'm glad.
She's like, oh, the other stuff didn't get through. No, I've heard lots of wonderful things about you as a teacher. And I see your posts on Instagram. You're rather active. And I love that you're not afraid to say your point of view. You're very clear about how you train the voice and what you think about voice training. So let's talk about that for a little bit.
Because I ain't got nothing to lose. That's why.
Because you're real. You're a real one. I like that. Because there's a lot of people that fake the funk and they like everything that's out there and, because they don't want to lose followers and blah, 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 talk about it.
I could understand that if I had, if I was just starting and there'd be like a little bit more like nervousness or, thinking about, what if I put this? Will people like me? Will they follow me? That kind of stuff. But I've been doing what I do for so damn long.
Right.
If you don't follow me, you don't follow me. If you don't get down with what I'm trying to, then it's fine. It's fine because there's an audience for everybody. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank you for saying that because I think that's this goes beyond the scope of being a voice teacher. Just it's the human sphere where it's like, hey, there are 8 billion people on the planet. Everybody ain't gotta like you. It's
No.
really, really okay. You can unsubscribe and I'm, your subscribe doesn't pay my bills.
That's what I do,
Yeah.
when someone sends me a video or I see videos, I might feel some type of way, but I can either follow them or unfollow them. It's like,
Right.
go where I want to put my energy. So
Yeah. You know what I find interesting, because people know that we're vocal coaches. I've got some well-meaning friends. They'll send video and they're like, I really like the singer. And I'm like, I really don't. And so it's like, do I say something or just sometimes I just leave it and it's like, it's not necessarily worth my time, because they're not asking for my expertise. They're not paying for my expertise. So, you know what, let's just be friends and we could talk about ice cream. You know what I mean? Because it's like, that's my expertise. Why would you send me that?
I mean, I try to find the good,
Yeah.
to be like, oh, I really like that. I just won't zero in over there,
Right. I like that. It's like, okay, I like the songwriting. I like the production.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a sweet hook, but not like I like their singing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're not just going to poo-poo the person. You find something that you like.
Yeah.
And so then you can still have that connection with the person that is sending you the video.
In other words, you don't lose all your friends over a video, right? Right.
No, it's like going to a concert, somebody that you know or don't know, and they might not be singing technically. Like, I can't even go into any kind of live music setting I know how to turn it off, basically, because if I just sit there and I'm like technically analyzing them, that is no fun whatsoever.
No.
But I am paying attention. So if it was like a Stevie Wonder, I'm like, what are his choices right now? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm feeling affected, but I'm like, what is he doing? Because I know that he has a background in being, masterful.
Yes, absolutely.
But
I really like that.
I just go to enjoy.
I really like that. I do think it's important to be able to turn off that analytical brain to a certain degree and just kind of enjoy music, rather than just, if the vocalism isn't perfect, then we can't enjoy the art. I think that's a little bit far, to the right or to the left or whatever. It's just,
That's different than how I grew up.
Okay.
If someone wasn't singing technically sound, it would be turned off.
Oh, wow. Now, why do you think that is? That it was that way?
Because he was so gung-ho on being technically sound,
So by he, you mean your father?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because for some people that might not know, you are the daughter of Seth Riggs, right?
Right.
And so,
right. I am.
Do you think that was purposeful, that he was trying to train your ear to great vocalism, or that was just sort of the way he is?
Probably both. I remember this one particular singer, he would poo-poo all the time. And honestly, I don't even use that word poo-poo, but I'm just putting it here today. This is a new word. We're poo-pooing.
We're keeping it clean.
And when I listen to that singer, I just hear all kinds of heart. I hear all kinds of heart, and I like it. I like it. Just purely based on, I like it. I see that guy's heart. When someone's singing technically sound and they don't have any kind of emotion behind it, I don't want to listen to it. I don't care how many notes they can hit. You know what I mean? Okay, well, I was thinking about, some of the songs that I used to sing when I was a kid. And I would sing songs like As We Lay by Shirley Murdoch. I sang Saving All My Love for You by Whitney. I didn't even realize because the point of me singing those songs was to reach and stretch my vocals so that when I hear a song, I'm not going to say something like, oh, I can't sing that. because I can sing it if I train for it, right? And so I see the value in stretching my voice in those ways in those songs. They're great songs. Right. But the emotional component, I couldn't have started to understand, and it wasn't really broken down to me what the song was about, So it was just really, really technical with him. And what I've kind of come to find out is like, even if you don't sing a song in the way that maybe, your job is not, your job is to take the song and to put your own feel on it and understand the way that you need to understand it in order to deliver the message, right? Of sadness or joy or whatever. But that's not how I was raised. It was like, how high can you sing? Oh, you want to okay, let's sing this song and that song and that song and that song. And I'm so grateful for that. But coming out of that and being a little bit older is like, I don't think I want to hear my students sing As We Lay.
Why is that?
No.
Why is that?
Because the song is about cheating on your partner.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I know.
It's about having that moment. So it's like, well, could I reframe that moment with a client and say, hey, let's like totally reframe it? Mm-hmm. Maybe. Or I could take songs that don't have that kind of content, something a little bit more PG, and then add a whole bunch of more notes in, play with the key and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's really interesting what you're saying, because I grew up singing those songs as well. And of course, not really fully grasping, that this is about infidelity and, what all of that entails. But because all of that, comes from gospel, I'm used to that type of delivery because I grew up singing gospel. So I think in another way, even though you might not have connected with the actual message, you probably connected with the delivery.
Oh, 1,000,000%. I love to sing those songs.
Yeah.
But looking back, I wouldn't have. I don't regret it. Yeah. I'm glad that I sang the songs that I did.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important to understand the emotional content of the song.
The fact that your dad gave you those types of songs to sing gave you what I call immediacy, no fear. Like, when you got to go for those notes in that gritty, gutsy way, you know how to find it. You don't actually have to look for it because it's built into what you do.
Yeah, and it has absolutely 1,000,000,000,000,000,000,000% is such a benefit when you're teaching others, because our job essentially is to get them to not fear the notes that they want to sing, right?
Absolutely.
Part of it.
Yeah.
Part of it.
Yeah. I think that's great, because I know that you're known for being a great singer, which, being a great singer and a teacher, it doesn't always seem to come out that way. I mean, I know you and I both know that there's teachers out there that you'd almost pay them not to sing. And I'm real. Oh, I'm saying it.
You said it.
It's like, please don't. And I'm wondering, how do your students pick up great vocalism if their teacher can't get it? That's always been curious to me. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, you're talking about students that have other teachers?
No, I'm saying teachers who don't have great vocalism at all, their students. How do they pick up great vocalism if their teacher doesn't, sort of bring it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know.
So
I don't know, because when I'm learning, I mean, my dad didn't sing. My dad sang pieces of songs. Mm-hmm. I mean, shit.
Oops, this is an explicit.
I don't know.
This is an explicit episode.
I don't really know. I did hear my mom sing. My mom was like a really great opera singer. I mean, It was funny hearing her sing in other genres of music. Uh-huh. But it was pleasing. Yeah. But it was pleasing to the ear. Yeah. I'm like, oh wow. Like there's like freedom and ease in these notes. And yeah, I don't know.
That's interesting.
Honestly, I suggest that how to find a teacher is, can they do what they're teaching? Can they glue that together?
Yeah.
So that, you know what I mean? Because if someone's going to give an example of some kind of range, but they don't sound good, but they're hitting the note.
Yeah.
It's like there's more work to do there as the vocalist. But does that mean that the teacher doesn't have anything to give?
Right.
No.
No.
It's just better or more optimum to be able to hear it in your teacher's voice. So they walk the walk, essentially. What are we doing scales for? Who gives a shit about scales? You know, at the end of the day, can you sing a song? Can you sing different kinds of songs?
Yeah.
And your voice is able to hold on in such a way where you feel like you could sing for hours.
Yeah, hours. I love that what you said, because, you know, we see a lot of online people spouting lots of things. You know, people like to say that they know this and they know that, but the proof is in the pudding. I cannot either. It's like,
oh my God, I was watching something the other day and I am like, there was this teacher, and I know this teacher, okay. And they were doing some exercises. The exercises sounded all right. And then they started to open up to sing and they were not doing what the exercise. And I'm like, wow, there's people out here doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so negligent. It's so negligent. But there's also like this feeling of like, I don't know. It's just shifted in the age of social media. It's like, if you go on social media and call yourself a vocal coach, you're a vocal coach now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like there's like an illegitimacy to social media. It's gross. And so what I do is I just try to stay in my lane.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. So what is your lane?
Oh man. I teach first things first. When someone says, "How's the teaching going?" I say teaching has always been really good to me.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I am in my purpose to help others, yeah? Mm-hmm. But teaching is not my whole life by any means. Okay. Teaching doesn't rule me. Do you know what I mean? Like I have a whole life outside of teaching that I am proud of, that I have a good time with, and that's another thing that I didn't really grow up with, you know? Okay. My mom died when I was young. My mom died when I was 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
But you know, it's all right. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah. It's all right. But so I grew up with, you know, to take like kind of like the mother role. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know this, but I have 7 brothers and sisters. So 3 of my sisters are older than me, and they were basically like my collective mom, you know? Okay. And then you get older and you build friendships with people and you get that nurturing from other places. I'm so grateful for those places. Yeah. Yeah. But when it comes to my father, his life has been 100% about teaching. Okay. And I see that not as a good thing for me. Gotcha. You know what I mean? Like I am not going to run myself into the ground, you know, trying to people please everybody that comes my way. That is not how I'm going to live my life. Like I refuse. Do you know what I mean? So it's like my life is like 50% play and 50% work. I have to have the play because I've been doing what I do for so long. Right. You know what I mean? And I love what I do. I don't want to feel burnt out about it. So that means like taking little trips and doing other things that I like to do enough so that when I come to the table, I'm like kind of like free of heart and free of spirit and all that, you know?
You know, I think what's interesting about that is I discovered that there is like a sweet spot to how many hours I can teach a day and how many days a week I want to teach. I only teach 4 days a week. I teach 4 days a week. I used to teach all 5. And now I'm like, nah, I need time to myself. And I break it up. I teach Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday. I'm doing other stuff. And you're so right. You know, having that time off allows you to truly focus when you come back. When I come back, I'm happy to see my students. There was a time when I was teaching so much that I was like, oh, another gee, another nay. I don't, you know, it's like, you again. But it had nothing to do with the student. It was because I was overloading myself. It's like knowing that not only can you not help everybody on the planet, you shouldn't help everybody on the planet. There's somebody for everybody, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. There's other people.
And I never understood when teachers fight for students. It's like, dude, you do realize that there's a lot of people on this planet and not everybody's going to vibe with you. There's, some people are going to, it could even be the same message, just not delivered the same way. And some people are going to vibe with you better than others. You're not supposed to serve everybody. And I'm okay with that. But I definitely think preserving oneself as a teacher is so important.
It's a mindset. And I think that some people grow up with it and some people learn it. And then some people never do learn it.
Yeah.
The mindset of abundance. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's when you're dealing from a place of lack,
yeah,
you don't think those people are going to come. So you get like really kind of
territorial.
Yeah.
Mine.
Yeah, but if you trust your calling, you trust the gift, you trust, you can kind of ease up a little bit. That doesn't mean that I don't kind of bend or whatever. When I teach 4 days a week too, yeah. But if someone has like a radio show in the morning, I'm not going to be like, well, I can't do that because
that's over my 4 days
on my playtime.
Yeah,
no,
get you.
No, you get up and do it, but it's not from a place like I have to. It's that I want to. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we want to see our students get to those places where they're doing things that fall outside of Monday through Friday. So you have been teaching, I think, for 23 years, right?
Yeah, I started in 2001.
Don't worry, I can't count either.
So it's 24 years? Is it 23 or 24?
I don't know. I can't count. I'm a singer and a teacher. It's a long damn time since we cussing. It's been a long damn time. Okay. And so can we name drop? Can we do some name dropping of the people that you've taught?
Yeah.
Because it's fascinating. It's wonderful because these are people that we see. I'm just going to give a couple names. Dua Lipa.
Love her.
Brian Wilson.
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah. Tiffany Haddish. That
fun.
Now I'm just thinking, based on how I see you and how she is, how did y'all get anything done? Because y'all are both funny.
She is a hell of a singer.
Really?
She's a hell of a singer.
Oh, wow.
So what had happened was I got hired on a show called The Comedy Jam. And The Comedy Jam was every comic has to get up, do their 10 or 15 minutes of stand-up, and then they have to sing a song.
Okay.
And it's called The Goddamn Comedy Jam by Josh Adam Myers. It's awesome. It's so much fun. And Tiffany she still does it, I think. One of the artists. And so she sang Proud Mary. Oh my God. When she opened up, I was like, why is she doing that and not this?
Yes.
But I think she is actually doing music now.
Wow.
I think she just released something or another. But I
gotta check it out.
Hope that she really does actually sing, not like play sing or, kind of like one of the things my dad would say would be, he'd be like, don't ever dumb down your voice just because the music is changing. It's like the difference between like when Mariah Carey first started, she had these like really amazing ballads and she's stretching all kinds of way. And then as time went on, like rap kind of became more of the thing. And then she kind of like sang a little less and less.
Yeah.
And like she kind of like went off a little bit at the end, but it was like this whole kind of like.
It was secondary. Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm saying with Tiffany is that she is actually pretty dope.
Wow, that is so cool. I can't wait to check that out. What about an Amber Riley? Amber Riley.
Yeah. What a tremendous singer.
She's the Masked Singer winner, wasn't she? Didn't she win the Masked? I think she won the Masked Singer. I know one thing. She tore it up.
Yeah.
She killed it. And so many more.
She's been killing it.
Yeah, she has.
She's been killing it.
She has been.
Yeah. It's just like a matter of time before you just keep working, you work, and you say yes to different opportunities. And then suddenly you're doing the Masked Singer. What's the Masked Singer? You know what I mean? She's dope. Whatever she does, she's great because she puts her whole self into it.
Like, I don't know if you know this, but in my family and in Black idiom, when somebody cooks something really well, we say they stuck their foot in it. She sticks her foot in everything she sings. I mean, really,
Yeah.
the whole foot in. You put your left foot in, you put your left foot on. Anywho.
I don't actually watch really those kinds of shows.
I don't either.
I don't watch The Masked Singer. I don't watch I tried to look for snippets of some of the performances I wanted to watch from the Grammys, but it's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't love it.
You know, speaking of that, so with Instagram, lots of stuff pop up, and I'm finding that here recently on my feed anyway, I keep getting a lot of stuff from like the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, and even stuff slightly earlier. And I'm like, I loved the stuff they were putting on TV because you had real talent doing real creative things. You know, I'm talking Carol Burnett. I'm talking not necessarily a singer, but there was just a time period where people brought their A game all the time. It wasn't just for shits and giggles. It was like, okay, we're going to sing now. All right, let's bring it. Oh, we're being funny now? Okay, let's bring it. You know, so you know that if a Patti LaBelle came on there, you know, she's going to knock your wig off, so you better glue it down. You know, just there was a difference of the kind of things. I'm not saying, because I'm starting to sound old and I know that. I'm not saying there isn't talent now. I am just saying that the way things are marketed to us is just it's not cutting through. We're not getting it. You know, I saw
no, because everybody's looking for like a certain kind of like it's like an experiment. You know, if I sound like this here, there, can I break through? And it's like that's gross. It's
the TikTok thing. I think it's the TikTok thing because I think people think that, you know, you get that TikTok success just because you sang your face off for 30 seconds doesn't mean you can hold a concert. That's a huge difference. You've got wow factor for 30 seconds, but after that 30 seconds, what you got?
It's definitely a thing because it's not all managers by any means, but there's some managers, right? Labels that want you to already have a following. They want you to have, you know, certain things done on TikTok.
Right.
Kind of exclusively.
Yeah.
And then they're picked up and they're these artists and some of their first gigs are things like Coachella and Stagecoach. And you're just like, oh. But that's where we come in because all we can do is do our best and try to do as much as we can and leave the rest to God.
You better pray. You better pray because somebody got to save you. But I like that you said, you know, we're their team, you know, we're there to support them. So have you definitely seen a difference in coaching singers from before TikTok and, you know, social media and to now, as far as what they come in expecting to be able to do or expecting you to be able to do as a teacher?
Oh, I'll let the student know, you know, that things take time.
Yeah.
And I'll let them know. Like I don't I'm not going to hand out a compliment or hand out anything that I don't believe in.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone comes in and they're talking about, sorry if I take this in a wrong direction, but I feel like people always just see the final outcome. They see this like pretty together, you know, fully produced version, and they think that what I'm trying to say is that I let everybody know that it's a process, you know, and that you have to train to be good. And some of them understand that and some of them don't. And like myself, sometimes you got to learn the hard way. You got to bump up against stuff in order to change your perspective on things. I don't think that answered your question at all. You're like, what the hell is she talking about?
It's quite okay. I really do hope you've enjoyed this episode because unfortunately it got cut very short thanks to the internet. So the internet ate up the rest of this conversation. And as I don't like to waste people's time, you know, Katie is very, very busy. And so, you know, getting her on the show was hard enough. I wanted to give you a bit of what we were able to pull together. And I'll definitely have her back on the show because she has so many things to talk about that, again, got lost, unfortunately. But I think it's interesting to hear the story of someone growing up with two amazing musical parents. I mean, her mother was an incredible coloratura opera singer. Her father, not only an amazing pedagogue, but also an amazing performer and singer. I think that seeing how this environment had an effect on one musical child is rather interesting. And seeing how Katie has forged her own path as now one of the most sought after vocal coaches in LA and internationally as well. The key takeaways, I think, is how she sees the business, because she sees it from a firsthand point of view. I mean, she grew up watching stars like Michael Jackson come in and out of the house, and Stevie Wonder and Shaka Khan and many others from all genres of music and also musical theater and opera come in and out of her house. And just seeing what that does to her point of view. I love how human she is, how she doesn't want to put people down. Even though she might not like how they're singing, she does try to find something positive in that. And I think that's very loving and empathetic. But anyway, I do apologize for this being so short, but I hope that you'll, stick around for the next time when I get her on the show. I'll maybe try to put in a bid for 2025 because she's so busy. But thank you so much for listening to the show. And listen, let's take a note from someone who's really in the industry about not being mean. Don't be a mean girl. Don't be a mean guy. Don't be a mean person when it comes to judging other people's art. Now, with that said, I do think it's important to distinguish skill from lack of skill and artistic ability. Somebody could be a very good songwriter and not be a very good singer. And that's okay, but let's not say, let's not give a consolation prize and say, oh, this is a great singer, when they're clearly not a great singer. Let's just be honest about things and put things in their proper box, in their proper lane, right? So we understand what we're talking about, because all singers are not created equal, and that's just life. Not all swimmers swim the same way. Not all basketball players can jump. So with that said, I want you to have a beautiful week, and please do remember, learning how to be an expert singer, it is a process. Don't think that the product that you see coming out of a studio is how people walk in. No. This takes years of work, and it also takes teams of people to get singers to get to where they are. So remember, it's a process, and you gotta do the work and trust the process. Thanks for listening. Musically, Monique.